Hi, I'm Enchanting Newbie Annette. Welcome back. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Today I'm going to share a hidden horror in Houston, Texas. There have been bodies found in the Bayou and the silence that is causing grave danger to many people. Let me talk to you about this. I'm not a journalist, as you know, but I am a concerned individual in this world that we live in, trying to make sense about what is going on, and definitely making sure that I pray up each and every day to stay protected. Let's begin. I am so concerned, YouTube family, because I'm seeing such tragic patterns, and it's very hard, and I refuse to stay quiet about it. What's happening in the Houston, Texas bayous and waterways is definitely more than a coincidence. It's a crisis, and it's hitting that community and communities all over the United States very hard. Now, the latest tragedy is a young African American woman who has gone too soon. Just days ago, the body of this young lady, Jade McKissac, 20 years old, she was pulled from one of the Houston's bayous. She has been missing since September 11th. So she was a University of Houston student, thriving young lady. She had her goals set, very positive. She was found deceased in the Bayou on September 15th. Again, she was missing on September 11th. 4 days later, unfortunately, tragically, she has been passed away. We don't know how. And the thing that's even more striking, everyone, is the details behind her story. So this young lady, Jade McKissac, she went out during the night, I believe, with her friends. I'm not sure how many friends. However, after hanging out with them, around 1 a.m., she was seen on camera walking alone. And interestingly enough, she left her cell phone at the bar, the venue where she was. I don't even know the name of the venue, to be honest. So I don't know if, you know, if she was intoxicated while she left her phone, if, something else was going on, because if she went out alone, you definitely would need to have your phone in case you need to call someone. Maybe you need to, usually if you're on by yourself on your own, you want to talk to someone on the phone while you're walking, just so someone knows where your location is and where you are. She left her friends, she left without her cell phone, and she went to a 24-hour store to buy a drink or maybe drinks for her friends. I'm not sure. But then after she purchased her items, she headed towards the Bayou area near the riverside, and she wasn't seen again. Really, really bizarre. And on top of that, when the coroner viewed her body, they said that there was no signs of trauma, no foul play at all, which is so it's very baffling, that this autopsy, had those results, even though she was found in the bayou. So that's not it, everyone. That is devastating enough, but that same day, another body was recovered from the canal near the Greens Bayou. And the cause of passing, according to the medical examiner, the person said that this was a natural passing, but the person was found in the bayou. Like, how did a person get in the bayou? We don't even know who this person is. There's no information about their identification. No name has been released to the public. So that was the same day. Two bodies now, everyone. Then, on September 16th, a third body was pulled from the White Oak Bayou. And we're still waiting on the cause of passing with this individual. There's no name, so I don't know, any details about this person. If it's a male, if it's a female, the age, nothing at all. And unfortunately, again, so this is September 20th, a fourth body was found in the Buffalo Bayou near North York Street. And again, everyone, I don't have a name. It hasn't been released to the public. There's no details about the person at all. Just no answers for three additional people. So that's four bodies, everyone, in 1 week. It's really alarming. And according to Fox 26, at least 12 bodies have been recovered from the Houston bayous this year alone. And we're only 9 months in. So let that really sink in, everyone. This is really tragic and really alarming. And police, law enforcement, they really need to have a lot more cameras. They need to have plainclothes detectives in that area. They really need to watch very, very thoroughly. And anyone who is in that area, wherever the area is where, people are going to, have a night out, to go to the restaurant, even if they're going for a stroll or a jog or to walk their dog, they need to be extra, extra careful. Be very vigilant and not, I wouldn't even go there even in the evening time towards night. How is this type of crime occurring over and over in these areas? I'm not sure actually the distance between the bayous at all. I didn't research that, but it's extremely uncanny. And I really believe in my heart of hearts that there is a serial unaliver in these areas, and this person really needs to get caught. They're selecting this location in order to, discard people. And I don't know how is it that, you know, for example, in Jade McKissac's case, that there have been no trauma to her body, no foul play. I don't, I believe that the family should have their own independent or private medical examiner to do a thorough investigation. And I really wonder how long this has been going on. So, according to the law enforcement, they do believe that there's no connection. They say this is not unusual. Really, I just cannot even accept that. But let's be honest, when multiple bodies are showing up in the same types of places, and the thing is, according to online reports, many of the victims are young. Several of them, I don't know if all of them, maybe, could be African American. And unfortunately, we know that a lot of law enforcement do not do their due diligence as far as researching and doing the detective work needed or the footwork in order to really find the evidence and find the source or the culprit or suspects. So many of these people were missing. I don't know if their families have, filed a missing report case. And if anyone followed up with that, I'm not sure. But why are so many of these victims unidentified? You know, do they have families? How are they just missing and no one is, trying to figure out where they are? And why are the causes of their passing so vague? They're found in these bayous, different ones also, and there's no other information on them. And I just wonder how come the community now is becoming alert regarding these victims. Because all along, since the beginning of the year, even before, people have been discovered deceased. So now we know, everyone, that Houston's bayous are very vast, and according to many people in the area, it could be hard to patrol. And I believe that there is flooding and even homelessness around the area. That's according to what I know online. I'm not familiar with this area at all. But we need to make sure the communities really need to be more vigilant. And even if they have, they need to have extra funding, because we need to find out who is the suspect or suspects that is doing these crimes, these horrific crimes, because all of these people matter to us. These stories need to be shared, and we need to have these Amber alerts again. Years ago, always on the phone, you would hear and see the Amber alert, so we know, that there's a horrible crime taking place, someone is missing, and even have an extra heads up. I haven't even seen that anymore. And this should not be dismissed, everyone, as unusual, or not unusual, excuse me. This is quite unusual, quite terrifying, extremely, for people to be missing like this. Is very alarming, and I take it personally. And according to online reports, Jade McKissac was studying strategic communications. She was building a future for herself. She was going after her goal. She had a strong work ethic. Her life mattered, as well as all the other people who are unnamed who passed away. We don't know how, we don't know when, but we need to find information about these cases. So I'm speaking up to share these stories. Other people are on social media as well. I learned about this story on TikTok because, unfortunately, I haven't seen her story on many major news channels at all. So, everyone, let's make sure that we, speak up, share these stories. We don't need to let them fade at all. We need to be very transparent. We also need to give it information to our city officials, find out about the updates. We need to push extremely hard. We need to work together in unison for public safety alerts, because we need to protect each other. And when someone is missing, we cannot wait. We need to make sure that we call, and we need to search for them as well and stay vigilant. From what I hear, the Bayou trails are very beautiful, but evidence shows, and this news report shows, that they're not safe at all. Everyone, we need to really travel in pairs or even in groups, especially in that area. Stay in the lit areas and trust your instincts. And I wonder, why in the world did she leave by herself 1 a.m. in the morning, especially without her phone? And if she bought a drink from the store, was she intoxicated when she left the bar already? Why wasn't her friends there? Who are her friends? Why didn't someone accompany her to another location, to the store, at that time of morning? For this young lady to be walking by herself, vulnerable, it could have been prevented. So I'm going to end with this. If anyone suspects any foul play, we know that human trafficking, unfortunately, is on the rise. The hotline number that you can call is 1-888-373-7888, or text HELP in capital letters to 233733. So, everyone, again, this is not just about Houston, it's about every single city, every single state. Okay, when someone leaves, goes out, and doesn't return home, we need to report it, and we deserve to have answers. We deserve to have safety. So let's make sure that, this is prevented. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Please definitely share this story to others, and please subscribe as well. Please remember to stay safe and keep your head on a swivel.